Due to the obscene and ridiculous nature of this podcast, listener discretion is strongly advised.
What in the world is that smell? What is that delicate, intoxicating aroma? Why, it's the new hot fragrance from Vital Elements, you f***ing idiot. This sensual, erotic perfume is intended for mature audiences only. This stuff smells like straight-up pornography, and I'm not talking about the kind in magazines. No. I'm talking about the kind of pornography that you have to find on websites that end with .ru. You know, the Russian stuff, the good stuff. Videos of 24 wet nude men slapping each other and crying. Footage of people making love in bombed out buildings in the most forbidden positions known to man. This perfume smells like that. It's made from the finest chemicals and solvents, and each bottle contains at least 1 drop of human semen. That's the Vital Elements guarantee. In fact, they've expanded this guarantee to encompass all of their products. Now everything they sell has at least 1 sperm in it. What other multinational conglomerate can say that? Probably not that many, that's for sure. Anyway, this perfume stinks and I love it. I get people complimenting the way I stink everywhere I go. I've been kicked out of library bathrooms for smelling too good while wearing this stuff. I've had multiple people threaten to kill me because I smell so good. That's how you know it's good. You're gonna like the way you stink. I guarantee it.
Secret Society of Fly Tires. Wow.
Secret Society of Fly Tigers? What in the fuck is that?
I'm sick of this phony baloney.
The Secret Society of Fly Tires, the Secret Society of Fly Tires podcast, the best podcast about fly tying.
Hello folks, welcome to episode 38 of Secret Society of Fly Tires, the idiotic podcast that you've grown to love, or choose to tune into because it's like slowing down to stare at a car wreck on the highway. My name is Little Corn Pudding, and I got something different for you this time around. Well, actually, I guess I had something different to kick off the new season too. Look at me delivering exciting new content. Episode 37 with Jason from the Portland Fly Shop was the first episode that I've produced that was focused on problem solving at the tying bench, and that was a lot of fun. Together, I hope Jason and I helped at least one of you solve some type of fly tying problem.
If I got a problem got a problem until it's gone.
This episode will be the first where the focus is a species of fish, and it all started with an Instagram post by friend of the show and one of the guests on this very episode, Grant Powell, who goes by the handle of Hill Country Flyworks on social media. If you aren't familiar already, give him a follow. You'll find some cool fishing and tying content that focuses on what the name implies, the Texas Hill Country, put together by Grant, who happens to be a great photographer. The post that got the ball rolling on this episode was him documenting an encounter with a big GAR while out fishing with his pal and another friend of the show, CB, who goes by the Instagram handle MK Ultra Sad and Lonely Fly Guy, and a future friend of the show, Gibson Lee Davis. I saw that series of photos, which I linked to in the show notes and probably used in the trailer for this episode, and I wrote myself a note to immediately start working on a GAR-specific episode. Once I got into it, I emailed Grant, who roped in, pun totally intended, his pal, Matt Simpson, who happens to be a GAR guide, and we booked a Zoom. You can find Matt and go fish with him for GAR and redfish and a bunch of other cool stuff on Instagram at Matt Simpson Fly Fishing. He's a swell dude that seems to know what he's doing. Aren't those two things you want in a guide? The answer is yes, of course, which brings us together here today. You'll hear me reference this episode in almost every interview in Season 4 of the show because my lazy ass kept a GAR Zoom background in place for all of the interviews that I hosted. Pretty much every guest that I talked to made a comment about it, which led me to explain myself. It might have been funnier to save this one for the end of the season just to make things confusing, but it's a topic that I'm stoked about, so I couldn't hold on to it for that long. I'm excited to learn, along with all of you people, about a really cool, long-nosed fish species that fly anglers all over the realm try to wrangle with rope flies and just plain old rope. Maybe you already know a thing or two about GAR. That's okay. I'll still do my best to make this enjoyable. It's my duty as your podcast servant, especially now that I have some new stiff broadcasting competition. I meant to use this as another excuse for my delay in releasing the new season of the show. I was going to say I was scared or something, but I didn't. You see, Mr. Sex Dungeon himself, Kelly Gallup, has his own podcast now, and it's really good. He doesn't give a shit, and I love that. I try every day to not give a shit, so we have that in common. But I have way, way less wisdom. Maybe I'll try to convince him to join me for an interview in Season 5. I think he might get a laugh or two out of this dumb show.
Are you kidding me?
Wish me luck. While I'm on the topic of my show in general, at the time I'm writing this, I haven't decided on the release schedule of this new season of the podcast. Traditionally, it's been on a 2 episodes per month cadence, but I think I might just release a new episode every week this time around.
This gives me a hard on.
Don't tease me.
In this season, I'm actually doing what I kinda lied about in previous seasons and got everything ready to go and finished before I launched anything. That's one of the real reasons it's taken me so long. I acted like I did this in previous seasons, but the reality was that I was still putting together the last few episodes while the season was going, and it was unnecessarily stressful. I have 12 badass new episodes ready to fucking rock this time, people. Anyways, you'll know by the time this comes out because the first episode was either released a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Do you care? I don't know. Do I care? Not usually. But I think releasing an episode every week for 12 weeks instead of over 24 weeks may help me in the charts, you know what I mean? I desperately want to topple the crafting podcast charts again, but maybe I'll say screw all that and just release these more randomly than any other podcast ever. I'll put out 3 in one day and then nothing for a month, then 1 every other day for a week. Then 2 months later, I'll put more out. I'll get wild.
Don't tempt me, babe.
I really do want to be the king crafter on Podcast Mountain, though. It feels good even when it only lasts for a matter of hours. I'll feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of my new unhinged sponsor, Vital Elements. I bet you guys didn't see what my new sponsor had coming. Is that a cum pun? Probably. Maybe you did see it coming, because the worm has proven that he cannot be tamed. Whatever I decide on as far as release schedules go, I think you can expect 12 shows a year from me. That's the most that I got in me on an annual basis. And I hope to keep this going forever, in perpetuity, or until someone finally gets too mad about all the cum jokes and pulls the plug.
I'm sorry to report that you have been cancelled.
I'll tell you one thing for sure. This content that I produce is not made possible by viewers like you. My fellow podcasters love to proclaim that they wouldn't be able to do their show without the generous monetary support from their listeners. I am proof that that is not true. I produced Season 3, which was top-notch professional broadcasting content without a single donation, and I expect the same in Season 4. Is that a passive-aggressive guilt trip? Maybe, but I'm just trying to be transparent and honest, unlike my peers. I'll add to that and say that I blame you for me having to take on such an absurd sponsor for the new season. How else was I supposed to keep the lights on here at the SSFT corporate office? The acting deputy director of Vital Elements put forward an offer that dwarfed all the other sponsorship deals that I had on the table, and as you probably imagined, there were many. If I couldn't rely on listener donations to offset some of my rock-hard costs, I was going to have to pivot at some point. I hope you understand. I don't need you, I want you. Not sexually, I don't think. I want you to listen to the show and laugh and feel the shame that I feel every time you listen to a new episode. I just wanted to get that out of the way. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. I do love you, okay? Wow, that segues perfectly into my quick recurring segment where I thank listeners for their generous monetary donations to the show. If you would like to get a shout out in a future episode, all you have to do is feel guilty for my previous rant and send me money that I'll spend on feathers instead of you spending it on feathers. So a big thanks goes out to the following listeners for their donations that each topped $1,000. This week we have Dr. Stacy Horsky, Bruce Horn, Arnold Tarnish, Angel Payne, Michelangelo Lemonade, Lexus Afterburner, and Anna Nicole Schmidt. See? And just like that, I made $7,000 of money from podcasting. Thanks again. This program wouldn't be possible without you, especially now, for the love of God. I hate to break it to you all, but I got fired from the Grease and Organic Food Waste Division for cleaning a giant pike minnow at my desk. My mistake. I thought organic food waste was in the title of the frickin' place, but luckily I still had a friend in HR over at the Bureau of Odors, Stinks, and Aromas where I was assured that that type of behavior is not only accepted but encouraged. Maybe I finally found my forever home. I'm taking a bit of a demotion and took on a stink analyst position, but I was promised that there was room for advancement, and I'm going for gold here. Okay, I got all the business out of the way. Let's talk GAR. 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 There's a lot to learn today. I'd bet the majority of you out there hearing me talk right now don't fish for GAR. Never have, and maybe never will. That's okay. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same gang as you. But I want to change that. And the next time I travel out of state to fish, I'm going to try to get my ass to GAR Town. Where is GAR Town located on the map? All over the place. Fossil records indicate that GARs at one point had a super wide distribution, having been found on every continent except Australia and Antarctica. In current times, I'm reading that GARs are confined to North America, which I think I'm going to contradict in just a moment. Don't trust me, please, about anything. Maybe about UFOs, but that's it. GAR tend to exist mainly in the shallow, brackish waters of Texas, Louisiana, and the eastern coast of Mexico, and in the rivers that flow into them. People also find them in the Great Lakes region and a few other U.S. states and places like Central America and Cuba. But some of those might be due to people releasing aquarium fish into the wild, which I want to support real bad, but it's not a good thing for the ecosystem usually. One exception is the local population of alligators that I've been slowly raising in the Sacramento River, and it's growing stronger by the day.
The big mistake is that the crocodile's open mouth is right next to my legs under that pile of net.
Which is yet another fantastic segue into my next fact about GARs. Their origin may seem unbelievable to some, but the overall scientific consensus is that garfish were the result of a strange hybridization that modern biologists have been working tirelessly to debunk without any luck. It sounds weird and unlikely, but garfish are the result of interspecies breeding between the American alligator and Arctic char. Mush those names together and it's pretty easy to understand how the fish got its name. The species inherited the long-toothed mouth from its reptilian father, and the rest from its fishy mother. I'm just assuming the gator was the top in this relationship. It makes more sense, right? So a gator dad and a fish mom. Just like you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. God damn it, I mean I'm not sorry for that obvious joke. Let's even this back up. You can take a few minutes to say mean things about me now. I'll give you some time. Okay, maybe what I just said about the gators and chars isn't true. GAR have no reptilian blood, unlike every world leader in the political sphere. They don't feast on adrenochrome, but that would be a tight-ass name for a GAR fly pattern if I'm being real here. Don't steal that from me. Unless you come up with something really cool, then fine, whatever. Anyways, GARs are an ancient group of ray-finned fish that belong in the Lepisostidae family, comprised of 7 living species in 2 genera. They are the only surviving members of the Ginglimodi. What are all these words? A clade of fish which first appeared during the Triassic period over 240 million years ago, and are one of only 2 surviving groups of holostean fish, alongside bowfins. I didn't make any of that stuff up, I swear to God. Those are real words, things that I read on Wikipedia, okay? I'm not going to say that 240 million years thing is true, though. How do they really know? No one was there. I feel like I've already ranted about this topic before. Let's go with whatever Wikipedia said this time. Some of the various species of GAR include the alligator GAR, the long-nosed GAR, spotted GAR, Florida GAR, short-nosed GAR, and GAR wood from my favorite rock and roll band, Hot Snakes. There's more, but AI is really clouding up my dang search results over here, and I don't want to lie to you. At least about this.
Why would I lie?
GAR can get really big too. In 2011, a commercial fisherman in Missouri accidentally caught a 327-pound alligator GAR, the largest ever recorded. Though it didn't count towards an IGFA world record for some reason, you can still see the thing because it got stuffed and mounted at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science. It's estimated to have been between 70 and 95 years old. That's pretty cool. The name GAR could be short for Edgar or Gareth, but the fish got its name from the Old English word for spear. Their bodies are elongated, heavily armored, with ganoid scales, and have big long snouts or jaws filled with razor-sharp teeth, just waiting to end the life of any podcast host that might encounter one. Now I'm looking up what the hell a ganoid scale is. Apparently, it's a type of scale found on sturgeons, paddlefish, gars, and bowfin. They often have serrated edges and are covered in a hard enamel like dentine in the place of the usual cosmine, and a layer of inorganic bone salt. Bone Salt is a great band name if you want to use it at no charge. Just thank me in the liner notes of your first album. GAR also have something called a pectoral girdle, which is a funny enough term that I don't even want to spoil that with the boring truth. Just look it up yourself, or enjoy the term for what it is. So, what about fishing for them, you say? You didn't say that? You said you wanted another word from our sponsor? Okay, here you go. Please excuse this brief interruption from one of our sponsors.
Let me guess, you suck at fishing. You're a poor excuse for an angler, and you're an even poorer excuse for a husband, father, and man. I know that might be tough to hear, but everything I just said is true. And if you think it's not true because you don't have a family, then I'm even more right. Think about it. You suck so much that nobody will marry you and put a kid in your belly. Anyway, you suck at fishing, but the fine folks at Vital Elements can help you with that. They can't help you with the many other failures in your life, but they can help you catch more fish if you use the new Vital Elements Scented Fly Paste. This nutritious aromatic paste can be liberally applied to any one of your poorly tied flies, and it'll attract the wettest fish you've ever seen. Fish can't resist the stink of Vital Elements Scented Fly Paste. I've caught fish after smearing some of this smelly goop on nothing more than a bare hook. I've smeared it on my fingertips and had little snapping turtles and fish come lick the slop off my pinkies. I bet you think I'm going to start talking about covering my tiny wiener in Vital Elements Scented Fly Paste and getting big old grease pigs to suckle me dry. But the lawyers at Vital Elements said that I'm not allowed to talk about that, so I won't, even though it did happen and I ate the burbot afterward and it tasted really bad. I'm tired of doing this commercial. I'm gonna go home and take a nap now. Buy Vital Elements Scented Fly Paste from your local tackle shop or online at www.vitalelementsflypaste.net/product/1411-1/checkout.
Okay, where were we? I was going to tell you about fishing for gar. I mean, my guests, Grant and Matt, talk a whole bunch about fishing for gar, so you'll hear it straight from the horse's mouth in just a little bit. Except they aren't horses, they're people. I don't know why I use that phrase. They're my friends now, and they actually fish for gar and catch them and know things about them from practical experience. I'm reading fucking Wikipedia and sitting in my bedroom pretending to be a broadcaster. I do count every guest of the show as a friend though, whether they like it or not. And gar just love to eat rope, whether you like it or not. Or they like it or not. Whatever. But if you look up fly fishing for gar, chances are you're going to see what's called a rope fly. It's pretty much just that. Hookless pieces of nylon rope. They can't resist it. Maybe discarded old rope is their main food source in the wild. Maybe it tastes great. I've never tried it. You don't even need a hook on a rope fly. Orvis's website is telling me that setting the hook will more often result in a lost fish because you pull the fly out of the gar's bony-ass mouth. Their mouth is almost all bone, like your mother's. That was a joke that I'm not sorry about. They really are bone mouths though, but your mom's mouth is probably not full of bones. Anyways, this makes it difficult to penetrate.
That's what she said.
With a fishing hook, you sick freak. That rope will get all jammed up into the gar's many teeth, allowing you to get closer to the fish and then throw an actual rope around lasso style to finish the job. That sounds insane and made up, but it's all true. Once again, this is not a lie, but real stuff that I'm reading and relaying to all of you. If you already know, just try and be entertained by the joy that you're hearing in me learning about these fish. It appears that anglers will use an 8 to 10 weight rod. Leaders around 6 feet in length with around a foot or so of 50-pound fluorocarbon as a bite tippet. Again, a lot of people use rope flies. This Orvis article says unbraided nylon rope tied on a hook just for the tying purpose and then snipping off the hook, which just leaves a shank, so you could use a steelhead shank. Who's stopping you? You know, I went into a pretty well-known, not-to-be-named fly shop recently and couldn't find any shanks, and I asked the person at the counter where I could find them, and they didn't know what I was talking about. I had to try to explain myself, and it still wasn't computing, and I was kind of getting the squinty eye like they thought I was messing with them or something, and I felt like an insane person. We eventually found some. Anyway, apparently in Vermont there needs to be a hook point on the fly to comply with the regs, which is interesting, but not interesting enough for me to look up the reason. I'm reading that the ideal time to fish for them is in the warmer months of the year. The smaller male GAR get together with the larger female GARs and they have sex with each other in the spring. You know that I love to take any chance I can to talk about fish having sex. There's milt everywhere, all over the river, and all over any innocent passerby. I am a pioneer in fish intercourse terminology as far as I know, and that's good enough for me. Spawning may also be an opportune time to hunt for GAR, but I'm not sure if that's ethical or not, so figure that out before you do it. My only frame of reference is salmon and steelhead, and we of course try to let them have sex in peace. I absorb a lot of fishing content from a lot of sources, and I really don't see much about fly fishing for GAR, which leads me to believe they may be sort of overlooked. Why is that? They jump and thrash when hooked and seem to do all the things that us anglers crave. Sounds like you're mostly sight fishing to these monsters too, which is pretty cool. They're air breathers, so they spend much of their time at or near the top of the water column. They get huge. You often have to lasso them in like a wild bull. Let's go, people. I'm probably making it sound easy to catch them with the way that I'm talking about them, but that's not how it is. The pros say you have to make accurate casts, and it can be tough to get their attention if you can't make the right cast. That's cool too. I'm ready to be rejected by a new species of fish. I'm used to that, and knowing that a GAR is what is rejecting me sounds refreshing. The steelhead is always going to be my favorite fish, but I'd love to make the GAR the unofficial, official fish of the show. You heard it here today. This is a GAR show. The secret GAR society of long-nosed fish. A fish you don't even need a hook for. You only need one material even. Fucking rope. Go to Ace Hardware. Go to your shed or something. Alright, I gave you enough juicy GAR facts. I think we covered a whole bunch between this monologue and the interview. As usual, nothing about this show is meant to be comprehensive. It's for fun. You know what's fun for me? Reading about the paranormal and supernatural and trying to shoehorn it into this fly tying podcast. So that's what I'm going to do before I introduce you all to Grant and Matt. One of the places mentioned in our interview was Galveston, Texas, which has a rich paranormal history. I was going to tell you all about the haunted locations like Moody Mansion, the Bishop's Palace, the Railroad Museum, Broadway Cemetery, and Mayfield Manor, and many other places that some attribute ghostly tales to the massive amount of casualties from scary and devastating weather events from the past and stuff. But if a place has multiple ghost tours you can pay to go on, it seems like that's kind of low-hanging fruit. So instead of telling you ghost stories that are readily available on the internet for you to read, or for you to pay to go on a tour and learn about in person, I'm just going to run down a few of the ideas that I had for this episode that didn't end up making the cut. On that list, GAR and their relation to Garfield the cat. I was going to make some dumbass joke about a lasagna fly pattern or something, I don't know. I didn't use it, okay? Chill out.
You said I could do whatever I wanted.
Then there was the tidbit about how farmers used to plant dead GAR carcasses with their crop of garlic because it made the garlic taste better. This was going to play off the fact that the word garlic starts with GAR. That's the fish species that this episode is all about. Get it? I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I don't apologize anymore, and this is me coming clean to all of you about some really stupid ideas that I decided not to subject you all to. Also on my list was just the name of actress Terry GAR. And if I remember correctly, I was basically going to repurpose that old story about Led Zeppelin and the mud shark they made a groupie have sex with, but reimagined to make it more modern. And the mud shark would have been a GAR instead, and the groupie was actress Terry GAR. I didn't go there though, so you don't have to worry about it. I also thought about trying to convince you all that all cigars have a little bit of GAR meat or blood in them. The worm told me I should tell you guys that cigars are all made from GAR penis bones, or something like that, but I looked far and wide on the internet for pictures of a GAR penis, and I couldn't find a high-res one to share with you guys, which would have made it harder to convince you of the whole thing. I'm glad I didn't use this one, as good as it may sound. So, you don't get any paranormal stories or weird lore this time around, and that's okay. I still had fun writing this, and I had fun chatting with Grant and Matt too. Grant was one of the earliest supporters of this show, and I'm truly thankful for that and for everyone who listens to this show. Here's three dudes on Zoom having a very non-sexual three-way and talking about the fish with the longest nose in the river.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, there you are.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I forgot I have one of those little blocker things, so
Yeah,
government doesn't spy on you and all that.
you got to have them.
Yep.
Nice to meet you virtually, dude.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you as well, man.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Been trading DMs for quite some time now.
I know, man.
You know?
I know. Well, like I said, a huge fan.
Oh, man. Appreciate that. I'm just getting back into this. I feel like I haven't touched it. I haven't touched the podcast in months. And like, I don't know, I've been enjoying not worrying about it. And now like I just got motivated again. And really it was because the worm has been sending me some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, well, anything that ignites the spark for sure. Yeah, I've been noticing that you've been not posting quite as much, but I'm excited for the new season.
I mean, I'm not on any sort of set schedule, you know. It's just whenever I feel like it. And when I do start, it's like I want to get like a big lump of episodes together and have it like ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's like this mountain of work, you know, that like that I just like push off until I finally feel like I'm ready to go. And my buddy, the worm, he had this idea that all the ads for this season are going to be from this company called Vital Elements. And he's been sending me all these random ads, and they're all products by this company, Vital Elements, and it's killing me. It's cracking me up.
Yeah.
So,
is it supposed to? What kind of company is it supposed to be?
Oh, it does everything really. Any type of product.
I love it. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah. So anyway, so it got me motivated, and I booked like five or six interviews for this next week, and just really fucking going at it. You know, like trying to push myself into it. You know, and you guys are my first one, so I'm pumped.
Wow. Well, hell yeah, man.
Where's Matt? He said he was here.
Yeah, I know. I did. I saw that text too.
He said he's coming on. I'm excited to get to know you guys and talk about GAR today.
Yeah, they're a cool fish, man. I'm excited.
Don't get them.
They're
out
awesome.
Here. So
yeah, I know. I was gonna ask. Yeah, so I guess they're a warmer water deal.
No GAR out here, as far as I know. They say I was reading about it. They say that if there are any, which there might be, people have seen them in California waterways, but they're all like aquarium releases and shit like that have kind of gotten out of control.
Yeah.
Which, motivates me. Maybe I can start my own GAR farm out here in the
heck yeah.
It gets I guess it doesn't get warm enough, but
I mean, who knows? They're resilient fish. They may be able to deal with it. I mean, shoot, it's like 28 degrees down here right now.
But like, the water here, at least on the river right by me, is like it barely crosses 50 degrees. Even and we get 110 in the summer. We're
I'm sure
hot. So
I'm sure they could make it.
Yeah. Oh boy, what do you got there? You drinking a beer too?
I am. Sure am. Got a Warsteiner at the moment. What are you drinking?
And I've been on this Guinness thing.
Oh, heck yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hell yeah.
Never been a beer guy. And then I started drinking Guinness, and now I have Guinness like every night.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, it's
one or
low
two.
Alcohol. Yeah, I mean, it's low alcohol, but it's also, I tend to lean towards the darker beers when it's cold outside. So it's seasonally appropriate too.
It's funny, my friends, because this is like I only really like stouts and porters. Like I don't really drink anything else, and it'll be 110 out, and I'm having one, and they give me tons of shit, like I'm a total freak.
Yeah. There's no rules, but hey.
Yeah, I get it.
Each their own. I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm a brewer professionally.
Really?
So yeah. So and it's hot as shit here in the summer, as I'm sure you're aware. And we have our loyal stout drinkers and porter drinkers during the hottest parts of the month. So
here comes Matt. He's joining right now.
Sorry, I'm a little slow when it comes to technology.
It's all good, Matt. Nice to virtually meet you, buddy.
Nice to virtually meet you too.
Grant's here somewhere. I think he went to go grab another beer or something. We were just yapping.
Oh, fair.
There he
comes. Sorry about that. I figured I'd knock out a piss before we got started. How's it going, Matt? How you doing, dude?
How's it going?
Good, man. Good.
Dudes, I'm pumped to talk about GAR with you guys. It's like I was, starting to talk already with Grant before you popped on. We don't have GAR here in California. And even if there are GAR, from what I've heard, they're like aquarium releases, they're like they're renegades, And so I have no history. I've nowhere don't know where to start. And so I have some questions, and I hope you guys have some answers. But if you don't, that's okay. It's okay too.
We'll do our best.
Yeah. So real quick, I mean, we should probably, this is a rare two-person interview for me. And I know we're kind of getting right into this, but like this is how I do it. I'll edit it later. I think the only time I had two people on was when I had a husband and wife duo, Charlie and Roxy Allen from Axiomatic Fly Fishing, and we were talking about the Sandy River. And today is about GAR. I'm calling it the GAR roundtable of sorts, even though it's just three of us. So I guess that's a triangle. I got the idea in my head though after seeing some Instagram posts long ago that Grant posted with his buddy and friend of the show, MK Ultras and Lonely Fly Guy, catching a big old GAR. Right.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about this conversation ever since then. I was like, I gotta talk to him. And so anyway, who wants to go first? Who wants to introduce themselves first?
Grant, you want to go first?
Go for it, Matt. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well, my name's Grant Powell, and I run a Instagram and YouTube account called the Hill Country Flyworks. And basically, it's just me filming myself fishing and all the experiences I get to have out on the water. And it's been a really fun hobby.
You put some good YouTube content together, dude.
Thank you very much, man. It's been a cool learning experience because it was my introduction into any kind of media, really. So I've picked up video editing and photography and all. It's been a great little gateway into that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah.
I'll link to it in the show notes.
Oh, thank you. That'd be great.
Like a good podcast host would.
For sure. Thanks, man.
And where are you exactly, Grant?
I'm located in New Braunfels, Texas.
New Braunfels. Okay.
Central Texas, kind of right on the edge of the hill country. Central Texas is kind of our hill country area, and I'm kind of right on the edge there.
Right on.
In between San Antonio and Austin.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know am I technically an honorary Texan if my wife's from Texas? Does that make it?
Yeah, she's from Houston, right?
Yeah, Scrooston, as us locals call it. Yeah. Howson.
Yeah, that's Matt's area over there.
Is that where you're from, Matt?
That's my neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah?
I'm actually 30 minutes south of downtown Houston.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Way cool, man.
Yeah, so basically my main fishery is between Galveston and Matagorda. But, I mean, I venture out quite a bit. So I fish a lot of stuff in Louisiana, and I fish a lot down by Rockport and Corpus Christi based off of wherever it's good.
Nice. Man, there was a point in time where we almost moved to League City.
Okay. Yeah, that's right down the road from me.
Yeah, we
that's like 15 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah, we spent a little bit of time there. My wife's father was from there, and when he passed, there was a house that was sitting there, and we were like, "Do we go out to League City?" I've been in California my whole life. She's from Texas and moved out here, but we didn't end up moving out there, man. As cool as it probably was to make a big change like that, we decided not to. And anyway, Matt Simpson, Grant Powell, thank you both for being here today to talk about longmouths.
Thanks for having us.
Anybody call them that?
I don't think so.
So are you guys both born and raised out in Texas?
Yes, sir. San Antonio. Yep.
Okay, cool. I like to ask that. I just like to know where people are from. Yeah. What was that, Matt? You broke up a little bit.
I'm born and raised this area.
Cool.
So I'm born and raised Lake Jackson and Liverpool, about an hour south of Houston.
Cool. Yeah, man. Well, the worst rain I've ever been in was in Houston. Like driving through one time.
And the worst humidity.
It doesn't stop here.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And the biggest mosquitoes.
Yeah. I remember giant bugs out there for sure. Yeah. I think the last time I was out there, it was like cicada season or something like that when I was out there last time, and it was giant ass bugs all over the house, or like their husks. There was like like what used to be them or something. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. So let's see, where do I start? I got a whole bunch of questions here. Grant, Before we get into GAR talk, I want what. So is the Guad your home water? Being over
It absolutely is. Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. I live about 2 blocks away from it, and it runs through New Braunfels. We have the Comal River that joins the Guadalupe, and I live
Cool.
about 2 blocks away.
Right on. What about you, Matt? What's your home water? What are you fishing the most?
I'm very mobile,
Yeah.
but my home water, it depends on the time of year. Sometimes it's Matagorda and sometimes it's Galveston Bay Complex.
Cool.
And those are both very broad, like vast systems.
Yeah. I want to get down there and do some coastal redfish or something real bad. I never done it. I want to do that real bad.
Yeah, and I
Come on down, man. We got some of the best redfishing around.
Yeah. And you're a guide, right, Matt? And you rattled them off real quick, but where do you guide mostly?
I'm mostly out of Galveston and Matagorda. I'm literally like 50-50 between those two bay complexes.
Cool.
Because I live right between them too.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, did you guys know that you can just buy GAR? I didn't know.
I'm not surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you can buy basically almost anything, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing those, at least out here, in any aquarium stores or anything like that. But seeing that it's possible, I would love to buy a lot of them and release them here in my local waters and start my own brood stock. So
yeah,
if you guys hear about that, it's me. But where do you guys find GAR? I know you're both in Texas. Have you fished for them anywhere else besides Texas, or?
Go ahead.
I fish for them a lot in Louisiana for the alligator gar, which are my main target on the coast.
Okay, all right.
Really Texas and Louisiana, but it's mainly all the brackish water rivers that I'm fishing down here, like the Brazos, the Colorado, the Trinity, rivers like that, and a bunch of smaller bayous and stuff in the area too. But it's mostly brackish water where I'm fishing for them.
I didn't even realize that that's where they would hang out.
Yeah, so down here they go all the way like offshore. Like they go out past the surf. They go to like the first set of rigs and stuff down here.
So, I was reading
people catch them out of the surf.
Wow, that'd be wild as hell. Yeah, because I read they were in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Kansas, Nebraska, Ohio, Iowa, Illinois, Montana, Alabama, Indiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Florida, which has its own Florida GAR, I believe. But I was surprised at the stretch that you could find them in. Out of the 4 species of GAR that we have in the U.S., what do you guys run into the most where you're at?
So for me, it's going to be spotted and longnose for the most part. We do have some alligator gar, but I can personally say I've never really seen them too often. So.
I thought they were all alligator gar, and they were like all different strains of alligator gar, but that's a specific type of gar.
Yes, it is. And Matt, that's kind of Matt's specialty. You should check out his Laguna podcast where he really covers that stuff in depth, and it's really interesting. But for the most, we don't have short nose in my area, but the predominant species I see are long nose and spotted.
And you already mentioned, Matt, you said alligator, right? Yeah.
Yeah, down here that's 90% of what I do. So we have all the species of gar here in my area except for Florida gar. All the species that are in like the United States,
Oh wow.
Because there's also like tropical gar and Cuban gar and stuff.
Yeah, I was reading about those. Yeah.
And those are both basically just offshoots of alligator gar. They look very similar. But I mostly target alligator gar, even though I have some phenomenal long-nosed gar fishing in the area. I just haven't messed with them a ton because I usually don't throw at them because the second I hook a big long nose, a 6 or 7 foot gator gar will show up.
No shit.
Give me a shot.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, so you target, like that's the trip. Like people are hiring you to look for gar.
Yep. Oh, actually, that's my main thing. People are booking me for spring and early summer.
Man. Hell yeah. That's gonna be me. I gotta get out there. And I've been meaning to for a long I haven't been out that way in 8 years or so. My daughter was a toddler last time I was out there, and she's 10. So it's been a little bit. But man, like I am seriously pumped to
let me know. I'll come join you and we'll go hop on his boat and go tear it up. That sounds like fun. Yeah.
So okay, well, let's get into a little bit of the specifics about fishing for gar then. The only fly that I'm familiar with people using is like a rope fly. Do you use that or anything else? Like what other stuff do you use?
So they're not real picky. I throw anything that's a big bright bait fish pattern. The most important thing for me is what hook and how much weight and does it kill. So actually, I'll show you. I know the viewers can't see it, but this is mainly what I throw right here.
All right.
So
Articulated even, yeah.
Yeah, so basically all it is a redfish crack. I'm sure you've heard of that fly. Very popular redfish fly is actually made popular out of Houston. This is about a 6-inch articulated version.
Okay.
I'm real cheap. So for instead of doing like a loop, I just use 80-pound mono as a loop right there.
Oh yeah.
Instead of a shank, I just cut off a B10S hook. So that's just nothing but craft fur, Palmer marabou, and 3-inch foxy brush. And then the head's just foxy brush, the 3-inch. And then the weight's just large dumbbell lead eyes. And that's a full rot Gamakatsu SL12S.
I was going to ask if that front one was a jig, but you got a regular hook with dumbbell.
I only got one hook on there because they pull really hard, the alligator gar do, and I don't trust that. I don't trust there being two hooks. And plus, I don't like getting hooked, and they're very.
So
they flop a lot. They go crazy.
You don't want them you wouldn't want them getting the back hook.
No.
Okay.
And they almost always will inhale the whole entire fly. The alligator gar will.
Yeah, that's tight. All right. So yeah, I mean, I've only really seen the rope, which I can't recall now. I want to say sometimes the rope doesn't even have a hook in it. The rope fly. Am I tripping?
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Yeah, it gets all tangled up in their teeth, I guess.
Yeah. Similar with salmon and yarnies and stuff like that, I guess, on a smaller level.
Yeah.
But you're talking about flies and hooks and stuff. I'm assuming you're using big fat, like a tarpon hook or something on these.
For his gator gar, I'm sure probably some. Yeah. For me, it's interesting.
Yeah, I like beefy hooks.
Yeah. I think for the area that I'm at, it's kind of interesting because people ask me all the time, like, what kind of flies do you throw at these gar? And the way that I approach gars, it's more of an opportunistic type of kind of deal. I mean, like, I don't ever really intentionally go out specifically targeting gar. It's just like if they're around and a good one presents itself, then basically whatever fly I've got on is what they're going to see. You drag it across their face and you know, you do it right, they're probably going to eat. There are some times where they won't, but I mean, if you drag it across their face, there's a good chance they're gonna snap at it.
That was a question I had. I was going to ask if they're like easily spooked or if they just kind of roam around like top dogs, like they know that they're the big fish in the water there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, where I'm at, it's just kind of like just dependent. You know, there's times a year where they're just everywhere. I mean, we honestly, a lot of times I don't even throw at them because, you know, some of these flies that I'm throwing, I have 45 minutes into, and it's this, you know, it's just going to get ripped up. And I'm like, you know, I'll have a little gar come pop out of nowhere, chase it, and I'll pull it away from it. And, you know, obviously if you see some of those big guys surface, then you know, I'll sacrifice a fly for a big old gar or whatever. But yeah, it's not a predictable thing. Like, I'm sure Matt has it kind of dialed in to where he's got seasons and kind of knows where to expect them and stuff like that. But for me, I mean, we're typically bass fishing. So when they just show themselves, they're going to see that whatever fly we got on.
Yeah. That's kind of what it seemed like on that post that I mentioned right at the top of the interview, is that you guys were out fishing and there was a giant gar there that you guys.
Oh yeah.
All right. I guess we're going to try and get this guy. And
basically, yeah.
Yeah. That's rad, man. So, okay. Well, what about leader wise then? I'm assuming there's like a wire leader or something super heavy.
Matt, do you use any of that?
So I just use 80-pound or 100-pound mono typically. And I'll just tie, usually I'm fishing at intermediate line, so I usually just do about a 6-7 foot leader. And I just do straight 80-pound mono or 100-pound mono.
Right to the fly. Yeah.
Yeah, all the IGFA guys wouldn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We're kind of on like polar opposite, like, you know, I mean, he's going after 7-8 foot fish.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, dinking around the hill country, you know, hitting these little guys and stuff. But
how big is that one in the picture that I keep talking about?
That was a very, very good fish. I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, from snout to tail, it was over 40, but you know, that was a giant. That was a long nose, and that was a good fish. That doesn't happen all the time. But I mean, we fish typically 16-pound for bass, throwing bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, the group of buddies that I fish with, we're typically after bigger bass, and we're throwing bigger articulated, flies and big poppers and that kind of thing. We're after bigger fish, so
Yeah.
it's usually going to be 16 typically. But
I wasn't expecting to see a big old articulated fly like that for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I figured that. I don't know. Only thing in my head had been the rope fly, which really isn't that big in all
So,
grand scheme of
I'll
things.
tell you personally, I'm not a fan of rope flies.
Okay. Yeah.
So even for long nose, my thing with rope flies is they've had times where they've gotten caught in their teeth and the fish aren't able to lodge it, so then they can't get to where they can actually like get back to eating and stuff.
Oh, all
So
right.
for long nose, like it's opposite of what you'd use for the gator gar since they got that real small snout. Usually want to use more like a needle hook, like a Gamakatsu B10S. I know Grant's tying a lot of his flies on those. Even a lot of the small like carp flies and stuff work really good for those long nose for that reason. Just a small needle like hook.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people say that they like to use little carp hooks for if they're specifically targeting gar, and it just kind of gets a better set.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So I've seen folks, and I can't recall if this was part of this photo set that I keep mentioning of people using like a rope to like lasso these fish in like after they hook them. Is this something that you do on your trips, Matt?
Yeah, I use it for the gator gar. That's really the only way to effectively land because you use like let's say you use like a big muskie net. They'll literally bite a hole in the net. They'll just swim through the net, and then it's just chaos.
Why don't muskie have big old teeth?
Yeah,
Muskie
it's
have
a
big
nightmare.
old.
So
They have big old teeth too. Muskie don't bite through those nets the same way. Like what's the difference there?
I guess not. I guess not. It's really weird because muskie bite through leader a lot easier than gar do, but at the same time, gar tear up nets a lot quicker than muskie. It's some backward stuff. I still trying to figure that out. But yeah, I use actual roping lasso, and you try to get them under their pec fins.
So everybody, like anybody who's like really looking for gar and getting big ones, they're using rope. Like
for the most part, most people are using a rope, rappel line, or a strap, but it doesn't work well on those long nose gar unless they're like huge.
But
like, yeah,
we tried to lasso ours and we failed, but it ended up it tired out enough we were able to just grab it. He kind of surrendered, but.
So what's the purpose of the lasso though? So that you can just get the hook out and stuff like that, or what?
Yeah, so you can unhook them boat side if you like, but honestly, that's just the best way to control them. Because when you bring them in the boat, especially like I run an 18-foot skiff, you get them in there and you got rods and tubes and stuff, and they flop around like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Then they'll break every rod in your skiff, like no problem. It's no different than like when a tarpon. Oh, they're so chaotic. So when you lasso them, you actually get good control of them. And then what I'll typically do with a big one, after I lasso it, we'll take it to the bank, and then I'll jump in the water with it on the bank, or I'll drag it up on the bank. Since they're real tough fish. They're not like tarpon. Like you can actually drag them out. I mean, they're really tough scaled fish. They survive really well. We actually catch a lot of them that have arrow holes where bow fishermen have shot them before, and they're still alive.
Dang.
Have you ever held one before? I mean, I'm assuming you've never caught one before. They have a really unique, interesting texture when you grab them because it's like sharp, each in between each.
Maybe like a pleco kind of thing,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it's just like they feel like nothing else, and they're powerful fish. So you just grab them behind the head, and they're more than likely gonna race hell and start flopping around. But
I wonder if it's anything like a sturgeon, like those big sturgeon.
Yeah, no.
So, what's the biggest gar then you've gotten, Matt? Like, what's the biggest fish you've gotten on your boat?
My biggest that I've landed on fly was 84.5 inches.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Just 7.
That's wild, man. Yeah,
half an inch. And you'll laugh if a fish that big, I care about half an inch, whatever. But yeah, it was on a world record. I talked to IGFA. What's that?
Oh wait, you're cutting out a little bit. Did you say
I
there
think
was?
it cut out there for a second.
Can you?
Okay, I
Can
got
you?
y'all again.
Yeah, I can hear you now. But I caught that it was potentially
Yeah, I
maybe
can.
like a
Yeah.
world record or something.
Oh yeah, I haven't been able to find where anybody's caught a bigger one on fly, but they didn't like that I use 80-pound mono, and they wanted me to be a little too exact with my location, and I said, never mind, I'm
You're
good.
not giving up the spot.
Because
Yeah, hell yeah.
I really don't want to because down here we've got a problem with bow fishing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that like to bow fish these alligator gar, and the thing is, a lot of these fish you're catching are 20 to, I mean, they can even be 90 years old.
Yeah,
Some of these big
probably
fish you're catching.
easy targets, probably right, big and
Yeah.
just lumbering around, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I want to say easy because it's really tough to get the shots at the
sure.
big ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then you have to be real accurate. If that fly is not hitting them like right on the jaw, they're not going to notice it because they're ambush predators. They try to look like a log on bottom until like a buffalo or a carp swims literally right into its jaws.
Oh,
Then they
okay.
actually eat them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
but down here, so many people bow fish them, and I don't really want to put out to the world exactly where I'm doing a lot of my gar fishing.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think we have as many bow fishermen out here, but we do have a good deal of spear guys, and I can only imagine that'd be a pretty primo target for them too. I don't see,
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with it or anything, but I don't have them here, so I don't really have a stake in the game. So have any of you guys have you guys been bitten by a gar? You know anybody that's taken a bite? I've been having this recurring like daydream or daymare of me like dying a slow death, bleeding out in a bog, like via gar bite, like via gar bite, like via gar bite. It's 2 or 3 in the morning. And the sun is already up. It's so cold that I can see my breath, and my penis has completely retreated inside of me in a vain attempt to find any semblance of warmth or safety. The water is motionless in this bog. It's thick and soupy. It looks like the beef stew that I ate at my great aunt's house the night before she died in the fire. It's dark now, and now it's light again. My eyes ache terribly. I feel like I have several mosquito bites in the back of my throat. I'm nude under my waders. It's terrifically cold, but the locals, who have all been dead for hundreds of years, told me that there would be no way I'd catch anything if I weren't naked under my waders. I believed them. I had no choice. They threatened me with their silence. I see their faces before me, each more wretched than the one which preceded it. I cast deep into the still bog sludge. I can see the fly slowly sink beneath the surface. The fly looks like a skull. My skull. It feels horrible to see your own skull. I mend my line for no reason. There's no drift. I am a fool and a dilettante. The sky is brown and heavy. The line goes taut. A 100-inch gar has swallowed the tiny version of my skull at the end of my line, and I'm pulling it in effortlessly. There's no resistance at all. My palms are bleeding. I'm suffering from stigmata once again. The gar is in my arms. It looks at me lovingly. It opens its mouth as though it has something to say. Before I realize what has happened, it has flipped out of my arms, but not before biting clean through my wrist. I can't find my hand anywhere. Is it in the fish's mouth? Is it in the filthy bog slop? I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding a lot. I hold my arm up and look at the area where my hand used to be. The end of the arm used to be its home, but now it's nothing more than a vacant lot. The blood is warm and feels good as it runs down my arm and into my waders. I look at the bone and raw meat. I have seen my skull and I have seen my flesh. I feel lighter than air. I feel as though I am floating a few inches above the surface of the water. I can hear a siren. It's stopped now. I see my great aunt's face. I smell her burning hair. I call out to her. Great Aunt Alice, can you hear me? I know where you are. I'm on my way. I'm on my way to you.
Well, I've done some spear fishing, and I was kind of swimming through some vegetation, and I had a giant gar swim 2 inches in front of my face out of nowhere, and
like a shark.
Yeah, I mean it was horrifying. But I don't think they're gonna bite you. I don't know. I just don't think they're gonna do it.
Oh man, I'd have fucking lost my shit underwater.
Yeah.
How deep were you? What was this? Give me
I
this
mean, yeah,
scenario.
not terribly deep. I mean, it was the San Marcos River right in town. I was helping a guy with the Atlas Environmental spearfish tilapia
Okay.
and
Yeah.
other invasives. But we actually had plecostomus as well too,
Oh,
and
cool.
so we were looking around for some tilapia. And like I said, I was just kind of swimming through some dense grass, and yeah, he just kind of popped up out of nowhere. It's horrifying.
Man, you were getting
Right
paid.
in front of my face.
You were getting paid to go hunt down
No,
the
no,
tilapia though.
I was
Okay. All
volunteering. The
right.
guy that I was helping gets paid to do it, but I was
That's rad.
volunteering.
That's too
Yeah.
cool. Oh man. Well, what about you, Matt? Anybody take a bite, or if you've taken a bite, you've had a lot of gar on the boat.
I've gotten nicked by them as they flop, but I haven't taken a full-on bite yet. I do have a buddy that was fishing with me, and he got bit in the finger, and the gar, one of their teeth broke under his fingernail, and it's just a small one. This is like a little 3-footer, and its tooth got stuck under his fingernail, so it got all infected and shit. It was bad. I've gotten clocked upside the head by them, though. Actually, my 7-footer I caught on fly. When I brought it up on the bank, it actually flopped up as I was pulling it up on the bank. So there's like the sand hump between the river, and then there's just this pool on the side of the river where I was gonna keep her in the water while I pried her mouth open to unhook her and stuff, and get a measurement and stuff, and drag her in there with the lasso, and she just flopped up and hit me square in the face. But I mean, I was just so excited to catch her because I've been working real hard to catch one that big. So
Yeah,
it just didn't even fun.
Yeah, you got the adrenaline going.
Oh yeah, but they can definitely thump pretty good.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, my old lady was like, "Oh my god, you oh good." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
So,
well, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I just caught a 7-foot gar.
So, do you guys keep fish on your boat? Because I've seen people eat gar. I mean, I just saw what the Get the Meat Crank Dat Big Earl guy on TikTok made like gar balls. I want to say he made gar balls. They didn't look bad. I mean, I love eating fish. I mean, I love seafood. So
Well, Landon from Honey Hole, right?
yeah, I do.
You remember? Yeah, Landon. He kept a gator gar one year, and he said he will never keep one ever again.
Yeah.
It was
Most people love them.
Really?
Really? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he was not a fan, but
oh man,
really?
Maybe he didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, who knows? Jury's out.
I don't want to start something with Landon, but it could also be like I've seen guys like, in fact, I think it was the same TikTok guy caught a carp, and like whenever anybody catches a carp and like is about to eat it, like I watch it, and
of course.
I have never seen carp meat. Like this guy filleted this fish, and it was like jelly. It was like see through and like gelatinous, and he was like, "This looks weird, you guys. Like, I don't know about this." and he ended up trying it, but who knows? Maybe he got and I believe after, because I was very curious. I was fishing through the comments, like, where's the doctor here that explains what's wrong with this fish, right? And somebody said it was some disease, some problem.
Because carp meat, I do not believe looks like that.
No, not usually. I mean,
yeah.
not that it's great. I've heard people that will. Wasn't it Saddam Hussein's favorite fish?
No,
like that?
in fact, the reason why carp are here in my part of Texas is because the German settlers brought them here as a food source.
Yeah, so people ate them at some point.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I know Russian dudes here eat them in Sacramento.
I believe it. Yeah.
I've never tried them, but pike minnows. There's another sucker fish here. People catch, and shad. We get American shad. People catch those and smoke them, and then if you smoke a fish and you put it in some dip, it's usually
pretty
fun.
good.
It's usually pretty
salt
good.
it up.
Yeah. But do people want to keep them on your boat, Matt?
Never, actually. We're 100% catch and release with a gar. I mean, obviously, fishing's a blood sport. I mean, you're going to unfortunately kill some that you catch. But I can confidently say I haven't ever had a gar that I was like, damn, he's going to die. They're about the toughest fish I've seen.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. And I just don't eat. I don't have a problem with eating one. Mm-hmm. Like if I were to keep one, and I'm the same way. I love to eat fish. I'll usually eat redfish or some speckled trout. or some white bass, something like that. But I just haven't had a desire to eat gar. But if I did, I'd eat like a 3 or 4 footer.
Yeah.
Because at that age, they're still really young. They don't slow down in growth rate until they reach over 5 foot.
Oh yeah.
Once they hit 5 foot, they slow down like a lot. But they'll hit 5 foot in 5-6 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like those the Pyramid Lake cutthroats out there, like 3 years and they're fucking 20 pounds. You know.
That's insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever come out here west?
I do. I've got a ton of family in Colorado, so
cool.
We've been going out there quite a bit, but unfortunately, not much further west than that, really.
You guys ever get a wild hair? The Pyramid Lake is a interesting, unique spot. I would highly
I've heard.
recommend it. Yeah.
I've heard. Yeah. I've seen those pictures.
Giants.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, did I miss anything about GAR? Like those are all my GAR questions. Did I miss anything important that you think would be cool to include in this? No. I honestly thought that you were mostly a redfish guy, guiding and stuff. I didn't know that you guided specifically for GAR. That's super cool.
So yeah, GAR, like springtime, that's my bread and butter. But that's only been a thing since 2021 is when I really started targeting them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been catching them my whole life. I mean, I was born and raised down here, but for the longest time, it's just incidentally while red fishing. But most of the year, I am red fishing. Like especially like this time of year, it's mainly redfish and black drum and stuff.
Cool.
Incidentally catching GAR, but some of my other main targets are Jack Crevalle, the schools of bull reds, like out in the middle of the bay and stuff. But I mean, we do a lot of crazy stuff too. Like we'll catch a blue cat in the same spot, and then we'll catch a flounder, and then we'll catch a GAR. Like it's really cool fishing all this practice.
You're catching catfish on the fly?
Oh yeah, blue cats. Yeah, catch them on the big flies too.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was thinking about doing this season was a catfish episode.
Yeah, they're fun, man. I love catching cats on fly. Down here, it's mainly blue cats that we get. You got to go way up in the freshwater. You got to go a bit further in here to get mainly channel cats and flatheads. But we cast quite a few blue cats too.
I've only ever soaked stinky ass bait for catfish. Like, what do you do? What do you do on the fly? Like, what is it?
They get aggressive sometimes, man. Sometimes they'll track it down just like a bass or whatever.
They'll go after bait fish patterns and stuff.
Oh shit, yeah.
Muddy bayous and stuff down here. They'll eat big stuff like this. Like this is just an 8-inch little articulated fly. I didn't tie this.
You keep holding up these giant flies. Like I feel like I tied giant stuff for steelhead and stuff like that. And these things are fucking huge. It looks like fun.
I'm normally throwing a 12 weight or a 10 weight at least for the GAR stuff. But I mean, I'll catch slot reds on these same flies. I catch freshwater drum. I catch black drum on them in the same spots.
What was that fly? What was that fly you just held up again? What was that? I just saw a quick purple one. Yeah.
So my buddy Zach Domerman tied this. I don't know if he has a name for it. It's kind of just like a double deceiver, but I guess a lot fancier, and it's got a bunch of flashing stuff on it.
Is it like 3 shanks or something? What is that?
It's got 2 shanks on it.
Just 2, yeah.
But look at how you can see this one. If I can get it up to the camera, it's a real beast.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, it's a giant fly.
And I have another buddy of mine. He's actually a biologist, and his main thing, he's a fisheries biologist, and his main thing is he studies alligator gar and stuff. And he likes to fly fish for him with me and stuff too. And this isn't one of his because I lost my last one of his flies, but he makes something similar to this, and he calls it a Garmageddon.
The Garmageddon, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool articulated fly with a bunch of bucktail, and it's got I'll even show you. You can probably see it on this one better.
That looked like it had 2 hooks in it, yeah?
Yeah, that one had 2. I'm going to probably take one off of that one. But it has a split ring in the bottom, so you can change hooks. And that's really good because you'll catch one gar and your hook will be shot.
Man, that's the kind of shit that's rad. That's like straight up, that's just taking stuff from gear dudes and like applying it in a fly manner. I love that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Rad. Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous, but it's almost like swim bait fishermen that are just fly fishermen. I mean, they're just using these big, giant, articulated swim baits, basically.
It's feathers or bucktail instead of silicone or whatever, right?
Yeah, or wood or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some of those swim bait guys, we have some local dudes in our area out of San Antonio that do some incredible stuff. I follow a lot of those local swim bait guys because like I said, I'm legitimately trying to emulate exactly what they're doing just on a fly rod. I use a lot of their colors and a lot of their profiles and stuff. But
those guys are out there looking for gar too. I'm assuming them swim baits and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm sure they're mainly bassers too, but shoot, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm not sure if those guys have any interest in gar or not. But.
I don't know why you wouldn't if you live where they are. I mean, I'm pumped. I want to go out to Texas just to get them. So I would. I knew a girl in high school that looked exactly like a gar. Mostly in the face. We used to call her Gargus.
Gorgeous.
I'm kidding.
That's awesome.
I didn't know anybody. I did know a girl that we called garbage can though. Close to gar. So I have one more question. I always ask everybody, and with two you guys on, I'm interested to see how this goes. But I got to ask if either of you guys have had a paranormal or supernatural experience that you'd be okay sharing on the show. Anybody?
Matt?
I can't think of
anything weird,
paranormal or crazy.
Dude, since I started listening to your podcast, I've been thinking about this forever, and it's like, I think a ghost could come and tap me on the shoulder, and I wouldn't even think anything of it. Like I worked in a hotel that was built in the 1920s, and
you're surrounded by ghosts all the time.
Yeah, it has a basement, which is rare in Texas, and you go down in that basement, and it's super spooky and that whole deal. And it's got there are ghost tours that go to this hotel. And I've been there late at night and all that stuff, and I'm just like, whatever,
Oh, man, you're immune.
I don't know. I guess maybe I just don't have the frequency to notice it or whatever.
Now, I've only traveled. Most of my traveling around the country is playing in bands and traveling around in a van and stuff and sleeping on people's floors. And I feel like most of the places that we stayed at, maybe not in Texas, but in the Midwest and stuff for sure, everybody had basements. What's up? What's up with the?
I guess we're just all limestone here. It's just not common practice for basements in this area for whatever reason, unless you old historical buildings in downtown areas will typically have basements. But other than that, for whatever reason, I guess it's just too hard to work through the limestone, I'm assuming.
We were always jealous. There's not really basements. Most people don't have basements out here in California. Nobody I know.
Really?
We see them rarely down, like in the downtown area. You'll see somebody has a driveway that goes under their house, kind of goes underneath, but it's just their garage.
It's more split level or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't want to say I'm disappointed that you guys don't have a story.
I wish I could give you more, but I've been to Marfa and I didn't see the lights.
Oh, the Marfa lights. Yeah,
I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You did or did not?
I did not see them. We looked for them, didn't see them. Not even that happened for us. So.
You know what you might have, Grant? They say that if you don't believe, maybe you won't see it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
they're just you're not open. You're not open enough.
Apparently.
Well, do you guys have any questions for me? Nobody ever asked me any questions in these things.
Dude,
where from?
What's that?
I said, Sacramento, right?
Oh yeah, I'm in Sacramento. Yeah, okay. Me and Matt, although we have the same name, I guess we don't know much about each other. I'm in Sacramento, usually fishing the Lower American River here, which is kind of in bad shape, to be totally honest. We don't have a lot of fish. Yeah,
like pollution stuff or what?
I mean, it's a metro river. It's not super polluted. It's just really that I think the water isn't isn't managed correctly.
Yeah,
I couldn't go into scientific stuff. I'm not a scientist, but that's what
what makes it in bad shape, you think? Just like fish population?
Yeah, fish per mile, I guess is why I'm saying that. It's like there's just not very many. I mean, things have gotten, I guess, a little better the last couple of years because we've had some water, but
you're a steelheader, like you do a lot of steelheading, right?
That's what I'm usually doing. Usually swinging flies, looking for steelhead. And
have you gotten to the spay game much?
Yeah, that's what I'm usually doing. And
sweet.
I didn't catch a fish on my river here all last year. I didn't catch any.
Really?
Fish. Yeah, I got.
How many trips?
I got. I don't know, 20, 30. I don't know. I mean, enough. you know, where I should have caught
Dang.
something. But
See,
I caught fish everywhere else I went. I caught up fish in Oregon. I caught fish in Nevada. You know, it was just not my home river.
yeah, I've got a guide buddy that lives up in Michigan, and his favorite thing in the world is steelhead, and I told him my reservations about just like swinging flies all day for like
Yeah.
one fish every 5 trips or whatever,
Yes.
and how it may not be that appealing to me.
Not for everybody. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, he kind of persuaded me to otherwise because it's pretty special when it lines up, huh?
It is. Yeah. That's the thing, right? Is that when you do
Yeah,
get one, I think you don't catch as many, right? And so they are more
yeah,
special and it does mean something, I guess.
yeah,
But like I like catching fish too, don't get me wrong. You know, like I'm
yeah,
up for anything, but like the way I feel most comfortable, like going out there on my own, I don't have a boat or nothing, you know, is
yeah,
swinging flies with a two-handed rod. That's what I have most fun doing. And whether I'm catching or not, you know, that's what's fun for me. So yeah.
yeah. Relaxing. I mean, I could see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fair.
you'd be good at gar fishing down here because you'd have the patience for it.
Yeah.
I'd compare it to muskie fishing. You're having a damn good day if you catch two like
Oh man.
decent sized gator golf. I mean, especially later in the season, you're doing really good if you catch one or two in a day.
Yeah.
And it's mainly sight fishing.
I'm okay with one. Like I'll go to the river and if I catch one, like I'll often come home. Be like, all right,
Yeah.
mission accomplished. You know, that's it. Yeah.
I say that, but also most of the time I'm not throwing unless they're at least like 5 foot.
Yeah.
They're less than
Yeah.
5 foot. I just watch them.
Man, wouldn't it be nice? You know? I don't sight fish either. That's the thing. It's like I'm usually hucking flies and praying, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't do a lot of sight fishing. The times that I have, like I went up to Oregon and there was a fish on the Mackenzie, and we could see the fish coming for them. I've done a little bit of dry fly fishing on some smaller creeks up here in Northern California where you can see fish coming up and getting your fly and stuff. But generally,
You don't have
no sight fishing really. Yeah.
no carp opportunities near you?
We do. That's something that I've definitely neglected, and I've had a couple buddies here that have offered, "Hey, want to go carp fishing?" And we'll do it. I've tried on gear. There's a Folsom Lake here has carp, and I was hanging out fishing for bass one day, and I saw tons of carp, like Carp Highway coming through, and I like was just casting at them, and they didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. I'm okay with the punishment. You know, I'm
That's
okay.
dude, that's a fun world. In fact, Matt and I have been talking a little bit about carp, but it sounds like he's coming up this weekend, so I'll see you this weekend, buddy. But
Cool.
yeah, that's a fun world, man. I really highly recommend exploring that more.
Man, I will. Not even just here in Northern California, because there's a few spots I know here, but in Oregon too. I have some friends that fish up there for carp too that are like telling me it's great. So I'm all in. I'm down.
Yeah.
What do you guys get into this weekend?
Oh, so we have Trout Fest. So GRTU is our Guadalupe River Trout Unlimited. Apparently, it's the biggest in the nation, which is interesting because it's in Texas. But they put on an event called Trout Fest every year, and it just so happens to be this weekend. So
cool.
Sounds like Matt will be in the area, might swing by, and I mean, it's just it's a good old time, man. Everybody's there.
This is more just like social hour, like people aren't really fishing, just hanging out.
Yeah, no, it's more of like a GRTU sets up these giant tents, and
cool.
Companies can come and share their products, and everything from fishing industry to bourbon distilleries, and any kind of the game wardens come out. I mean, they have a pond set up for kids, and they stock the trout so they can mess around. And then there's a banquet Saturday night. And they show films and have it's just
cool.
Giant thing. But
that sounds like fun, man.
Yeah,
man. My kids would lose their shit if they saw me catch a gar and could touch it and and hopefully not get bitten by one. So cool. Thank you guys so much for nerding out with me on this stuff. I know it was a little short notice. I just hit you guys up and was like, let's talk gar. Let's do it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I mean, I love your podcast. And
man, thank you.
That is it's high art, man. It's amazing. And people can tell you can tell how much effort and dedication you put into it to each episode.
God, man, Grant, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me about this show. It does take a lot of work, and
and I'm not being sarcastic. I know it sounds like it might be, but I'm being serious.
Thank you, buddy. Man, I appreciate that. It's a true labor of love. Let me tell you, I don't make any money on this thing. I'll tell you that, and it's a pure passion project.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine that you're not sacrificing your creative.
I got to get it out.
Exactly.
So it's the only way.
Like, exactly. So there's a conflict of. No, I get it.
Yeah. Well, this is, like I said, this is my first interview getting back into season 4. I don't know. I don't have a plan on like when I'm releasing them yet or anything like that. But I'm getting cooking now. I'm starting to get back in the game, and
heck yeah.
I will absolutely be in touch with you. I mean, this is really why I made the show, is to meet folks like you guys. I just want to meet other dudes that are into tying flies and catching fish and
share the passion,
wherever you may be. Yeah,
share the passion.
It turns out that I talk to a lot of guys from Texas. I don't know why, but
yeah,
a lot of folk down in Texas.
Yeah. Sounds like you should have moved to Houston then.
Maybe I should have ended up in League City. It's not out of the question, man. We could end up.
Hey, man. Well, at the very least, come visit us, man. I'd love to take you out. I'd love to take you out on the raft or whatever.
Dude, I'm going. Yeah. I got Southwest points, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to call you guys, and we're going to have a good old time.
Take you a tour of Texas, hit the hill country, and then come on. Both y'all come on down to the coast.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
Sounds perfect. Amazing. Yes, let's do it, dudes. There we go. The rare SSFT 3-way. Thanks again, Grant and Matt. I really appreciate you dudes finding time to waste with me on Zoom. There was a little bit of a lag time in there due to Wi-Fi instability during the interview, and I did my best to edit it, so hope you all enjoyed it. There's another 3-way coming up with my buddies Charlie Allen and Jim Sens later on in this season too. Another rarity that I enjoy greatly, a first podcast appearance. I love to be someone's first podcast, and I'm pretty sure this was a first for Grant and Matt. I have a couple more firsts later on in this season with Jim Kerr and Mitch Albers and Ken Myers too. Maybe more than that. Can I get a hell yeah?
Before I whoop some ass, give me a hell yeah if you're down with Stone Cold E.T. Oh, hell yeah!
I'll break them in for everyone else. All jokes aside, I'm honored that they chose me in this show, and I hope I don't embarrass them too bad with the absolutely lewd content that I call a podcast. We're only through 2 episodes of season 4, and it's already unhinged. Mostly because of the worm and this new marketing job he accepted at Vital Elements, which has benefited me greatly, don't get me wrong. But it's really turned up the heat in the adult content area, which I guess I'm comfortable with. Are you? Do you have the guts? I told you the theme of this season is just turning up the sex appeal on the show. I'm doing my part and following the worm's lead. Like we all should? He has his own Instagram and YouTube channel where he teaches you how to do all kinds of things. He's an expert in many areas.
Hey everybody.
I'll wrap this puppy up with a content recommendation like usual, because I like sharing things that I enjoy. Did you check out American Alchemy or the T. Townsend Brown documentary I was pushing on you last episode? You won't regret it. Today, I have another documentary I wanted to point you towards. This one is from 2013, and it's called Mirage Men. The doc proves and suggests that there was a conspiracy overseen by the U.S. military to fabricate UFO folklore in order to deflect attention from classified military projects. One of the key figures in the doc is someone named Richard Doty, who is sort of infamous in the UFO community for what he explains as his part in a wild disinformation campaign he and the military subjected poor Paul Benowitz to. Paul's life basically fell apart or imploded due to the actions taken by the Air Force and U.S. intelligence. I won't spoil it for you if you aren't familiar with the story already. This has present-day implications too that you'll notice if you pay attention to UFO news. Just this year, the Wall Street Journal revealed that hundreds of Air Force personnel had been told falsely that there was a, quote, secret program to harvest alien technology. It was described as a long-running practice and compared to a fraternity hazing ritual that spun wildly out of control. People say that only a small percentage of UFO news needs to be disinfo to spoil the whole lot of it. And that couldn't be more true now. It's near impossible to tell what is CGI or AI or genuine. If anything is obvious from the years of research so many people have put into trying to figure out what is behind the UFO phenomenon, is that there's an active, ongoing campaign to lie to us and throw us off the trail of whatever is really going on. Anyhow, pull it up for yourself. I'll of course link to it in the show notes, as the whole movie is available on YouTube. Then, after you watch it, you can get super paranoid like me and start thinking that everything you see and read is a lie. And then you might start a podcast where you get to ramble about all this weird shit to a small group of weirdos who understand you for some reason, even though you've never met. And that's the end of episode 38. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening, and see you in a couple weeks, or a week, or whenever I decide to release the next episode of the Secret Society of Fly Tires podcast. Good night.
Warning, the following paid advertisement is intended for soaking wet audiences only. Vital Elements, the brand we all love and know and trust and gape for, is back with an incredible new product that will simply knock each one of your socks off. I started writing this commercial without knowing what I was advertising, so I don't know what I'm going to say next here. I know just as little as you. I'm as stupid and dumb as you are. Anyway, Vital Elements is rock hard to present to you a brand new type of I seriously don't know what this commercial should be about yet, and I'm already like a quarter of the way through. I could probably just keep rambling for another minute and send it off to the dope who runs the Secret Society of Fly Tires, and he would put it in one of his boring episodes without even checking what it is. I think that's what he normally does. I don't know, I don't ask him about it. He just sends me money and I make him an agreed upon number of commercials for him to use or not. It doesn't matter to me. As long as I keep getting paid, he can delete all the stuff I send him for all I care. Also, now that we're talking about it, I think it's about time that somebody bring up the fact that the host of this show is really mean. I know for a fact that he insults and berates the people that he interviews, but he just cuts those parts out so you never get to hear him. I've heard him though, and it was not pretty. He used really foul language. He insulted a guest's face and head. He said that they smelled like muck and slop. The guest left in tears and he removed that part of the interview, but I heard it. I heard it and it made me sick to my stomach, and there was only one thing that made me feel better. Vital Elements brand new stomach ointment. This wet edible ointment coats and soothes your innards like no other. It's made out of pure simple ingredients that you know and love, like semen, sperm, seminal fluid, ejaculate, and wiener milk. Just sit back and suck a fat load of Vital Elements edible ointment and your stomach will never hurt again, I promise. Please note that this is not a real advertisement, and the company, brand, entity, or product mentioned in the preceding ad in no way endorses, agrees with, or knows about this podcast.